Hello, my name is Kyle Lindsey. I am the president for College Works Painting for the Great Lakes Division, and I'm here today to talk briefly about the power of positive thinking. And I want to start with a little bit of a story. You have two people applying for the same job. Maybe they're equally as qualified for the position. But what happens is you have one individual who's very optimistic. They're very positive, they're excited, and regardless to how the interview goes, they know they're going to take something really positive from it, a learning experience, etc. You have the other individual who's not as positive, right? They're not optimistic. They're not sure how it's going to go. They're just not very excited about it because they're fearful of not getting the position or just have more of a glass half empty kind of outlook. So both people are applying for the same role. The person who's not so optimistic, right, who isn't as positive, what they're not going to prepare as much for the position. They're not going to do their research on the company. They're not going to learn about the company's logo, right? They may not press their shirt the night before, right? That evening, they might not have enough time blocked out to get a full 8 hours of sleep. They might even not, maybe they don't eat breakfast, they don't prepare, whatever. So what happens is they go to that interview, they haven't had a good breakfast, they didn't have a full night's worth of sleep, they didn't do their preparation behind the business. And maybe they say all the right things, but their first impression isn't as powerful as it could be because they're not prepared, they might be a little hungry, they're a little tired, they're trying to pull it together the best they can. You have another individual, right? The optimistic one, who takes time to do the research behind the business, learn the company logo, learn how the business was founded and why, right? Because they're excited to learn, right? They pick out their clothes perfectly. They know exactly what they're going to wear. They make sure they get a full 8 hours of sleep. They wake up, they got their breakfast lined up, they get there 15 minutes early, and they're excited. They're optimistic. Why? Because they know either way, whether they get the position or not, they're going to learn something from the role, the interview, take something from it, whatever, because they have an optimistic outlook. And 9 times out of 10, who's going to get that position, right? Who gave a better first impression? Or the person who's excited, who's optimistic, who prepared, or the person who went into it knowing that they're probably not going to get the role, right? Where if we're not positive, if we're not optimistic, we almost set ourselves up to fail, right? And this idea that the power behind positive thinking can be so influential. And what I want to talk about briefly today, you guys have all had situations like this where you're either applied for jobs or you'll be applying for jobs. I think there are some things that you can do to maximize your experience in college, get better grades, get better job opportunities. And I think so much of that can come from this idea or the power of thinking positively. Being an optimistic individual can not only help you as an individual, but I believe you can also have a very positive, influential impact on others as well. You're going to college to learn, to take as much from your experience as possible. And again, I think that thinking positively, like I said, can not only impact you and enable you to get more out of your experience, but also have a positive influence on other people. So I want to start with the power of positive thinking for yourself. Barbara Fredrickson, she studies at the University of North Carolina, and she did a study about this idea that people who are happy, right, people who really focus on positive attitudes, they're positive in everything they do in life, they end up being very optimistic individuals, right? So if you're happy, right, and you're positive, you end up becoming very optimistic. And what they found, and what Barbara's found, is that people who are optimistic, they end up setting themselves up for all kinds of awesome opportunities. Because so many people, they hear about an opportunity, they hear about a job, and they go, no, you know what, I don't think I'm qualified for that. Or no, I'm scared to get told no, so you know what, I'm gonna leave it alone. And what happens is they end up closing so many potential doors. And what she found is people who have this positive approach, and everything they do, they go, how can this, again, positively influence me, right? Or what is the positive I can take from this opportunity? Those individuals tend to step outside their comfort zone more, try things maybe that they haven't done before, try new things, and let's call it what it is for a minute. The only way that you ever learn anything in life is by doing something new, stepping outside of that comfort zone of yours. But the bottom line is, if you're not optimistic, right, you're a lot more hesitant, which leads to people not stepping outside of their comfort zone. So what Barbara has found, that people who are happy, who are positive, end up being more optimistic people, which opens up a lot of possibilities, doors, opportunities, which ultimately, like I said, in college, what is the goal? To set yourself up for the future. The more that you're optimistic, the more that you step outside your comfort zone, the more that you're doing that. In addition, right, Mayo Clinic, right, has done all kinds of studies on the power of positive thinking from a health standpoint. People who think positively, who are more optimistic, have lower depression, have less anxiety, and they live a happier life, right? So thinking positively, And everything that you do every single day, finding the positive, not the negative, not only can it open possibilities and open doors, it will give you the confidence and optimism to step outside of your comfort zone, learn more, and the coolest part about the whole thing, less stress, right? Less depression, live a happier life. I can't think of a situation where people would not want further opportunity, who wouldn't want to take advantage and step outside their comfort zone and have less stress doing it. The bottom line is, right, between thinking positively, between the impact it can have on your personal health and the opportunities and the optimism that you have, comboed with, right, how you can affect other people, right, whether it's being a leader among your group or getting promotions at work. This idea of thinking positive can have such a dramatic impact that it can lower stress, once again, open opportunities, right? Put yourself in a leadership position among your peers and at work. There are so many positive things that can come from this idea of thinking positively, being happier, right, and being more optimistic. With that said, I want to leave you guys with a couple actionable items that hopefully you guys can take away from this and go, these are some things that I can do, right, to focus on this idea of being more positive. I had 4 items I wanted to give you guys to give you a couple ideas. Item number 1 I want to give you, knowing that every single day, right, you have these 10,000 thoughts and 9,000 of them tend to be negative. Every single day I want you to make a conscious effort to try and catch 5 of them, right? So when something goes wrong, for example, right, you get a grade on your exam and it isn't the grade that you wanted to get, right? That feeling of frustration and negativity, I want you to grab it. I want you to catch it, right, before you process and go, wait a minute, this is a negative thought. Right? How can I make something positive out of this? Right? Maybe this is exactly what I needed as a wake-up call to study more next time, to schedule time with my professor, more office hours, whatever. Look at that negative grade or the bad grade that you're not happy with. How can you make that a positive? So action item number 2 would be this idea that every day when you wake up, I want you to write down 3 things. Write down 3 things that you want to be extra positive about today. For example, right? Today, I want to be the most positive friend or roommate I can be. Make that a goal for the day, right? And that way the entire day when you're talking to your roommate, you're doing the dishes, you're cleaning up, whatever, focus on being a positive individual in every way possible with your roommate. Or maybe you want to be a better student. Maybe you want to be a better father. Maybe you want to be a better mother. Whatever the case might be, every single day, wake up and write down 3 things, 3 focuses that you want to make sure that no matter what happens that day, good or bad, you're going to take a positive outlook on those. Number 3, this idea, really simple, smile, right? Just smile. There's a reason why everyone loves dogs, right? Doesn't matter how bad of a mood that you're in, right? How bad of a day at work you had, when your dog runs up to you and they got that big old grin on their face and they're shaking their tail, it makes you happy. Sounds so basic. When you smile, you're going to be happier, right? When you smile, other people around you are happier. It'll make you happier and it'll make everyone else around you happier. Again, that's the same reason everyone loves a dog when they walk up to you with that big old dog grin on their face. Everyone loves it. So number 4 would be schedule time to play. Make sure every single day you take time to schedule something that you enjoy doing. Even if it's just a half hour, maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours, every single day. Make sure you're scheduling time to do something that you enjoy. A hobby of yours, maybe it's working out, maybe it's going fishing, going boating, whatever the case may be. So to wrap up, again, the 4 actionable items I want you guys to take from this. Some things that you can do to help you think more positive, right? And ultimately, again, increase your lifestyle, reduce stress, help your health, influence people around you, right? The 4 items that can help you do all of that. Those 10,000 thoughts that run through your brain every single day, right? Find 5 of them. They're going to be negative. Find a way to make a positive out of them. Number 2, when you wake up in the morning, make a list of 3 things, right? 3 things that you want to focus on that day to be positive around no matter what. Number 3, right? Smile, right? Everything that you do. Smile in every situation, when you shake hands, when you meet people, when you're talking, just smile. And finally, schedule time in your day, every single day, even if it's a half hour, even 10 minutes, to do something that you enjoy, no matter how busy you are. Find some time to do something that you enjoy. Because when you're happy, when you're smiling, when you're positive, again, you're more optimistic, and you guys can hopefully go off and accomplish whatever you want to accomplish now and in the future. With that said, guys, thanks for listening. I wish you guys all the most success, and of course, stay positive.